Okay, my name's Sheridan Mangal. I'm the chair of the A Better Way Partnership, a community group that's attached to the borough's gang prevention programme. Now what I'd like to talk about is that programme with regard to, well, who knows about it? What is it? What has it achieved? And where is it going? Let me take you back a bit, because the programme's been on for about 3 years now, just over 3 years. And it's based on 4 themes. The first theme being enforcement. Now enforcement is really the domain of the police. But, as has been said many times, we can't just enforce our way out of the issue of gang activity. There needs to be more of a wraparound service. There are many good things that the police have done with regard to reducing risk within the borough, but we also need to build upon the positives of youth engagement between the police and young people. And there are 2 areas where we need to look at the issues. The first one being stop and search. I don't think anyone has any problems with the principle of stop and search, but it's the deployment of it, where police officers perhaps need more training to respect community sensitivities, and also maybe it's incumbent upon the community themselves to make sure that young people are aware of their rights when they're in that type of situation, so that they can respond assertively rather than being seen as being aggressive in response to police interrogation. So an all-round following of due diligence, but also an awareness of rights would help. And we also need to make sure that the way the police actually monitor gang nominals is correct with regard to the tools they use, and also recognising positive engagement as well. The other theme then, moving on from that, is the family intervention piece. Now this is central to the programme, because it's here that the borough can react to individuals and families that are at risk or have been subject to the impact of gang activity and serious youth violence, with reactive services pointing the individual families into those services and where they can realise the benefits, but also beyond that acting as a preventative step to ensure that there's not a revert back into negative behaviour. But we need to make sure we have the right organisations, the right commission organisations that are being monitored with regard to delivering on the promises that they made when they tendered for the actual work. So family intervention is crucial to the success of the programme. The third theme then is where I come in as a community aspect. And as a community group, we are seen as the third partner within the triumvirate of the police, the council and the community in the programme. And we hold the other partners to account to make sure that the right things are being done and in the right way. And we're not afraid of putting ourselves forward and saying something isn't right, making other partners aware of the community sensitivities, especially in incidents where there are serious incidents on the borough, wherever that may be. We need to make sure that the police, the borough, other services are aware of the impact on neighbourhoods and on the community generally with regard to their response and the need for community reassurance. As a community group, we firmly believe that communities are core to the solution here. The community should be part of the creating the solution rather than just being the recipients of it. And only that way can we have something that can be sustained. The last piece is then the youth advancement, and this is another key theme within the programme, because it's here that we can provide the alternatives for our young people, those that are coming out or trying to come out of a negative lifestyle, and those who are at risk of actually entering into that lifestyle. We can provide them with, or we should be providing them with education, with training, enterprise awareness and so on, so that they can actually reveal inherent talents that they have, but apply them in more positive environments and situations. So, what do we do going ahead? Well, we've gone past the first 3 years, we're now into the next phase, and there's much talk about redefining the strategy going forward, but we need to be bold. We need to have innovation with what we're going forward. There are many challenges. There's challenges of funding that everyone talks about. Yep, that's very true. That's bringing it real. But at times of challenge, that's where we need to think laterally, be clever, look for different alternatives with regard to funding, maybe corporate funding and so on, to get the investment into our programme. Because a programme like this can never be short term. We've got to be in it for the long haul. So beyond this year, we need to make sure our strategy has that sustained aspect to it, so we can look ahead to 2 years, 5 years and beyond, and actually build on the benefits that we are seeing. benefits that the evaluator of the programme, Corliss Bright, have actually identified. But they've also identified areas that we need to address with regard to recommendations for the programme to enhance it even further. We need to make sure that we include the driver, the drugs industry. We need to address that issue from a top-down and also a bottom-up approach so that we can attack it from all angles and diffuse that kind of activity. We need to make sure that the community remains as a key driver in all of this. Again, as I mentioned previously, unless the community has buy-in into this, unless the community is involved, unless other partners listen to community, then this isn't going to happen. We all need to play a part in this. We all have a responsibility. And although the ride can be bumpy with regards to relationships, we've all got to be moving in the right direction. And as a community group, we've got to make sure that all our key aspects are actually covered. A full 360-degree approach to the problem. So, there's much talk about reacting to incidents, reacting to problems, but we need to place a lot more focus on prevention and proactivity alongside the reaction to make sure the right signposts are in place. But if you imagine you're going down the motorway and you see a signpost telling you the junction you wanted was half a mile back, that sign is of no use to you. Similarly, you come across a sign telling you to turn left, but without telling you where that left turn will take you. Again, you're not interested. The signposting has to be at the right place at the right time and has to be accurate and pertinent to the person that's actually being put in front of the actual signpost. So, there's much talk about strategy. And what I say is that there's always talk about the intent, but the true aspect of this is in the delivery of that intent. How do you articulate that into true actions and activity that can be felt at street level? And so that the families, the individuals within community can say, yes, I am seeing some real value in this, whether it's directly affecting me or indirectly as an observer of what's going on. Everything that needs to be in place to reduce